Alrighty guys, I'm back with an announcement video regarding everything that I talked about in the previous video, but I've made some decisions about my channel, where I'm gonna go from here, what's going on and everything, so I'll briefly recover in case you didn't see the previous video what happened, and then I'll talk about what's gonna be new and changing and all of that. So basically, my Vimeo account got deleted due to copyright issues. They were claiming that I uploaded full episodes, which I never did. Never have I ever, uploaded full episodes. I've only ever, I cut them just like basically every other reactor that has footage in their video. I followed their format. I learned from them. I used to watch that, or I still watch them. And I love what they do and everything. So, I was trying to follow in their footsteps. But either way, and then I figured, okay, I'll dispute this, try to get it back, talk to them, but I have 2 tickets in right now because I made the first one individually by mistake without realizing that the original email that told me my account was banned said to reply. So I had 2 tickets floating there. One has been replied to, one hasn't, so it's still not confirmed that I'm not getting it back. But the one that has been replied to, they said there's nothing they can do. I uploaded like raw ripped footage, so I replied and said like, can you take another look at my content, yada yada yada, typed up this whole long thing, and then they replied literally 1 minute later, and they said, nope, nothing we can do. He literally didn't have time to check anything, so unless something changes weirdly with a different person looking at it with the other ticket, then I'm most likely not getting my Vimeo account back, so that really stinks because that is a big setback, but I've thought of some solutions. So that brings me to what this announcement video is about. It's about the change of format of my videos to timer-based. And now, I know not everyone is a fan of timer-based because maybe not everyone still has access to the footage from, when they originally watched it. Maybe you subscribe to Hulu or something to watch it if it's on Hulu, and then you disabled your Hulu after you finished watching it, and now you can no longer watch it. And so the footage isn't going to be on the screen anymore in my videos. This is something for the past, basically ever since I made the video, ever since this Vimeo thing happened, it's been something I've been weighing the pros and cons for personally, and for you guys as well. And there's some benefits for you guys too. In here, it's not just it's benefits for me and you guys. So here I'll give you some of the thoughts that I've had changing to this timer base, so that way you guys can kind of understand where I'm coming from with this one. Obviously, copyright issues are sketchy. You're kind of towing the line between having too much footage in and having, too little for the viewers to like. You're trying to even that out and also not get your content removed. It's very weird and sketchy, and ever since I started doing my channel and I got my first copyright strikes on YouTube, which made me transition to Vimeo, it's always worried me that something like this would happen someday. It's always that really sketchy feeling. So timer base solves all of that because unless there's something I don't know about, there should be zero copyright issues with me having a timer in the corner and you guys counting up. And that's right. Sorry, I meant to explain. For any of you guys that don't know what timer-based reactions are, I forgot to do that. I just assumed since my viewer base is so small, most of you guys probably already know what it is, but I'll explain it real fast. Basically what it is for my videos, I will have a timer, and usually it's this corner. I offer it as a Patreon benefit called Full Length at the moment. And then when I start the episode, I'll go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And you guys will start your footage. You'll have the footage on your screen. I don't know, either you'll make it smaller, and then in the other corner you'll have me if you're doing one monitor. Or if you have 2 monitors, you could have me on one monitor and the show on the other. That's the one thing that I'm kind of sad that I can't do all the footage in one thing, because that means on mobile it won't be viewable anymore, which really stinks. Unless I guess if you have 2 devices, and you can set up the show on one device and set up, or if you have a device that can do like split screen stuff, maybe. I don't know how all that works, but I don't have any devices that can do split screen, so maybe you get either way. I'm getting too in depth, but yeah, there's a timer in the corner. You guys will get to watch the entire episode with me, but you'll just need the footage yourself. So now to get into some of the pros and cons, I kind of just touched on a couple of them. It makes it a little bit harder for the viewer to watch the content, so I'm thinking I might lose some of you guys that have watched me possibly regularly, even if you haven't been commenting and stuff. And I very much apologize if timer base isn't your thing and I'm losing your viewership because of that. I don't do it to spite you or anything. It makes copyright issues null and void. And to get into some of the more benefits, we also the editing is so much easier for timer base that I'm gonna start, like, once I get the system set up and I flush out my whole channel and fix everything on my channel, I think I'll be able to start picking up more shows, because timer based takes like 5 to 10 minutes to edit, whereas the episodes I've been doing up until now take roughly I'd say 40 minutes to edit, 30 minutes if I'm able to do it quickly, but usually I have to do a lot of like touching up after and stuff like that. So that's like basically the length of my recordings is the length of my editing usually. So that means I can do almost double the amount of reactions in the time frame, which is good for me. I get to watch more shows and have more fun, even though I do enjoy editing. This just means that I can put out more content for you guys, and for you guys it's good because you get to see more content from me. So it works both ways for that. Some of the other benefits is a little bit more personal. Things like monetizing on YouTube is something I'll be able to do if I ever get big enough for that to matter, because with the way I do my videos, I don't think I'd ever get partnered on YouTube, because I have the discussion on YouTube and then I redirect you guys to the link to the reaction, and not trying to talk crap against you guys, because sometimes I do it too, and I don't blame anybody. You guys get to watch my content the way you enjoy it. So, but a lot of people don't care for the discussions. They just want to see the reaction to the show, and then they move on to the next episode or wait for the next one. So a lot of my videos on YouTube have an average view time of like 20 seconds to 1 minute. Like for people to come click the link to Vimeo and then that's it. So that's like the average time. So and in order for a partnership to work on YouTube, you need like an average of 1,000 hours watched every year or something along those lines, and there's no way I would ever reach that. But with timer-based reactions, having that on YouTube, it'll be, the full 23-minute anime episode, whatever the length of anime episodes usually are, that people might be watching, and then even if they leave for the discussion, they were still there for the 23-minute video, So that should kick up my time on there. Maybe I can events like this is long-term someday stuff, partnership on YouTube. Once again, that's a benefit for me personally. I guess if you want to look at the effect of that, is if I get partnered on YouTube, I start making more and can make this more into like a part-time, full-time job, I can pump out even more content. So I mean, in a way, that's sort of a benefit for you guys too, but that's kind of really nitpicking to try to get there. So let's move on from that so I don't make this video too long. But there were some other pros and cons that I thought of as the time goes by, but I've already talked a lot, so, and I can't really remember too many more. I mean, I know I've thought of more. They just suddenly like, oh, this is a benefit, or but I won't be able to do this anymore. But anyway, as for Patreon, because at the moment The timer based stuff is a Patreon reward on my Patreon, you know? So basically that reward is gonna be changing. I might be doing a overhaul of my Patreon as well and reorganizing some of the tiers and stuff. But one of my ideas, it's not gonna be put into practice right away, but one of my ideas for making my Patreon more enticing, so rather than just early access, um, one of the new features I might add is Patreon only shows that get uploaded to Patreon and then get, you know, that get uploaded to Patreon first, which is kind of like early access, but except I'm thinking I'd watch the entire show, only releasing it to Patreon like each week before, and then once I finish the show, I'd probably keep it to like 12 episode animes, maybe like 24 episode. I wouldn't do anything like 50 episodes, you know? But, and then once it's finally done on Patreon, you know, 12 weeks later or whatever, then I'll start uploading the first episode to YouTube. Something along that. I haven't fleshed out the format, but kind of have like almost super early access. I don't want to call it like Patreon only shows because they eventually do go to YouTube, but you just get to see like pretty much the entire show from me on Patreon. And I thought of that as like a benefit, so you know, people get some like unique content but like way before it comes out rather than the early access feature I currently have, which is just 1 to 2 weeks typically early you get to see the episodes. I'm probably going to try to work on more features. I'm going to see what some other channels do. I'm going to try to think of stuff on my own. You know, that was just something I thought of when I started weighing the pros and cons. It was, you know, I was like, oh, if I can do more content, then this is something I can do as well. So, but yeah, I probably shouldn't have waited till this long in the video to say it, but something you might notice on my channel is what I have to do is I have to take down every single reaction video that I have currently set to public, because those are all redirecting to Vimeo. And then since I've been doing timer based for the Patreon stuff since I started my channel. So I'm gonna have to go back and set up every single timer based video as public, which I'm gonna see if I can disable it somehow, but it might spam my channel with like new video. I hope it doesn't. I hope there's a way I can disable that. But if it does, I'm sorry for that, and it's gonna like bump this video down a ton, which really stinks. But I'm really hoping I can make those videos public without putting it at like the top of my list, you know. I hope it can stay like where it is in terms of release date, you know. So we'll see how that plays out. I haven't started messing with it yet, but that's because, you know, I have all the timer based, but they're set to private because I just give the, you know, the Patreon people the links to that, and they're just sitting there private on my channel. So that's one of the good news is as well, is that switching to this timer based, I can just swap out those videos rather than, because I can re-download all my videos from Vimeo and I would still have every single thing I've released, but that's like over 200 like over 100 videos for sure. I think it's definitely over 200 because I have like 80. No, I have less than 80 My Heroes. It might be close to 200 episodes, roughly. I don't know, something like that. And that would be really hard to re-download, re-upload, set those all up, and then go, you know? And it would just take so long. So that's another, you know, pro to this change of timer bases. I already have the timer base uploaded to YouTube. It's still going to be a lot of work to set them to public, and then I need to add thumbnails, and I'm actually not sure if I even have thumbnails of some of the older shows, so some of my older shows might not have any thumbnails unless I decide to go back and, like, remake them all. But I don't know if I have the energy to do that, but we'll see. But either way, guys, so this has been a long video talking about this. I think this is most definitely what I'm going to be doing, is changing this format. Once again, I apologize if I lose some of you in the process. maybe this will make some of you guys more happy. Maybe you guys like timer-based better, you know. But it's what I gotta do to make sure that this copyright crap should never happen again, because there shouldn't be any copyright issues with timer-based reactions. As far as I understand, you're just watching me watch a show, and you guys don't get to see any footage or sound, so there shouldn't be anything wrong with that, you know? But alrighty guys, I think that is gonna end it for here. Maybe I'll make a second update video if I, need to add anything, but I'll probably do a Patreon feature update video as well, talking about what I talked about in this video when that becomes more fleshed out of a system, and that way, if people didn't stick around long enough to hear that, they'll hear it there. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and apologies for all of this for you guys. It sucks for me too. I have a lot of work to do now, but I guess we'll all get through this, get back to normal. We'll have a new format and kind of have like a little bit of a fresh start. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys when my reactions return. Bye bye.